Morning, everyone. It's 8:55, and this is your pre-opening comment for Friday, and it is video number 924. Excuse me. And again, I remind you to please hit that subscribe button and the alerts, the little bell. Okay, big numbers out this morning. The jobs report, a huge disappointment. Less than 50% of what was expected, almost less than 30% of what was expected on non-farm payrolls. The number was 235,000. Estimates were as high as 700,000. Unemployment rate down 0.2 to 5.2%. Labor participation rate unchanged, 61.7, and that remains the post-COVID low. Average hourly earnings on a month-to-month basis up 0.6%. Year over year, a whopping 4.3% and 34.7 hours of work week. We had we had big losses in the leisure and travel segment, which is COVID related. We had no influx of teachers, which was expected at this time of the year. So the futures were up about 50. They were then down about 15. And right now they're pretty much dead even with a Dow implied opening of up $1.18. NASDAQ was up about 60, currently up 20. S&P was about 10 or 11 higher, now basically unchanged to up $1. In other news, we have the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, the Department of Energy loaning Exxon 1.5 million barrels of oil. We have Walmart raising wages on about half their workers, an additional $1 an hour. And we had earnings, a beat top and bottom line for AVGO, that's Broadcom. Guidance was good. Last night after the earnings, the stock was down about $1.92 at $491.24. Today it has a range of 91 on the low, 97 on the high, and a last of 494.67. That's up 277 or about 0.6%. Select Bio, symbol APOP, has a bone marrow transplant technology that seems to be working before the FDA. The stock has had in the last 2 weeks a range of 4 to 9.85. Last this morning is 9.28, up 378 or about 70%. And this one I'm not really all that sure about. The symbol is ANY. It's Sphere 3D, and it's got some sort of a Bitcoin mining deal. Truly, I don't understand it. I don't understand what it means, but the stock has recently moved from 3.25 up to 11.98. But today it's giving it back. It was down as low as 6.06. And the last on it is 710, down 230 or 24%. August ISM numbers are released at 10 o'clock. So here's the bonds, which were acting better before that unemployment number, but have since turned lower. As you can see, it also, if you want to look at the technicals, it is continuing to make lower highs, and in the grand scheme of things, it is also continuing to make lower highs. I mean, if you look at it on maybe a 5-year basis, you can see that we have a series of lower highs since the blow-off top last March. But back to the daily. We had this gap down not very long ago, 8 trading days ago, where we gapped down and hit support and bounced up. But now, what this begins to look like is a little bit of a bear flag and a break to the downside. The low close in here is 162 and 16/32, so 162 and a half. We're 162 and 3/4 here today, 162.23. 30 seconds. So I'm not sure how this is going to shake out, but it is not pretty. We had the oil down a bit overnight, right back up 27 cents right now with a high of 70.50, so another quarter higher. We have the gold bouncing strongly on those numbers because I guess it means that there won't be a tapering. So, this is kind of at odds with the bonds. Usually higher interest rates do not send gold and silver higher. The copper is basically unchanged. And when we get to the Bitcoin again, Bitcoin is up 1530. 1530 is about 3%. Ethereum is up 180, which is closer to 4.5 or 5%. So Ethereum continues to outpace Bitcoin on the upside. All right, everyone, be careful out there. Remember, it's going to be a pretty thin day probably by midday and on because of the holiday on Monday. And as I said, August ISM comes at 10 o'clock. If it's of anything of interest, I will let you know. Have a good long weekend, everyone. Happy Labor Day.